Hi, this is Marty Cesario for Mountain TV with Executive Director Jennifer Anderson Ehrlich from Sportswomen of Colorado. Jen is a former NCAA basketball athlete with MSU Denver and Southeast Missouri State. Her guests, Tanya Have, who just recently retired after 14 seasons as the head basketball coach at MSU Denver. She also was a head coach at San Francisco, an All-American basketball player at the University of Tennessee. She played volleyball as well for the Volunteers and is a local Hall of Famer at the preps level coming out of Evergreen High School. Rachel Sanford is the current women's lacrosse coach for Evergreen High, 3 state championships under Sanford, including the last 2 seasons. Sanford played lacrosse at Duke. She's an All-American, a 2-time semifinalist for the Tewaaraton Award. Lots to talk about. Jen, go ahead.
I feel like the two of you are the pride of Evergreen. Tanya, I kind of want to start with you because you were a multi-sport athlete, went on to play at Tennessee. What did it mean to you, though, to bring that state championship home years ago to Evergreen in your community?
Well, it meant so much because it happened in the first one. We won 2 my junior and senior years, and the team in 1976 when I was a 9th grader, so that was 3-year high schools back then, but they had won the state championship. And the year that I was a sophomore, there's a little bit of pressure to win that championship again, and we fell way short, woefully short actually. So to have that, bring that back and start a streak. I mean, my junior year, that team started a streak that I think still is a national record of like 9 years without losing a match for Low Hunters team. So it was so special to get us back on track, so to speak. And it's something that I'm really proud of.
I love whenever I meet anyone who knows you from that era. It evokes so much emotion. People are so proud. They feel super connected because Evergreen is such a tight, unique community, I feel. Rachel, so bringing it full circle, you've won 2 back-to-back state championship titles, 3 in total at your tenure. Out of how many years have you been coaching at Evergreen?
6 counting a COVID no coach year, so 5 or 6.
So what does that mean for you and your girls to bring that back to that community in 2025?
Yeah, Evergreen's a really special place. It's a small community, but girls' sports are really at the forefront. There seems to be a youth program for every girls' sports offering. The girls' soccer team also went back-to-back state championships. So there's something in the water at the high school for female athletes. I think it started when, Tanya's class was there. And if you go into the halls, there's, Tanya Have plaques and Low Hunter. I think it might be the Low Hunter gym. And there's a lot of awards kind of all around the building. So the legacy of greatness, lives on in the walls.
Both of you, how have you seen the culture of girls and women's sports? Tanya, I think you kind of touched upon that, pressure, external stimuli, for lack of better words. And Rachel, you're in it with your high school girls, the social media. How have you seen that change over the course of your careers in coaching?
Well, I'll start real quick and then I'll have Rachel add on. But I think women in sports or women's athletics has now been normalized. When I was playing, it wasn't so quote unquote cool. And now it is a cool thing to do. So to see that evolution, Rachel, I'll just date myself that I'm a lot older. So, but see that evolution where it is so cool. For me at this point in my life and my career, it's so satisfying to see. So that's my 2 cents right there.
What about you,
Yeah, I
Rachel?
think just from being an athlete, when I was in college, if you wanted to watch lacrosse, you got to watch it on Memorial Day weekend. They filmed the final game, and that was the only lacrosse you got to see. And now with the streaming services and so many college games, the women's professional league, it's all on TV. So the access to lacrosse, which is kind of a niche sport, is so much better. And just think about the coverage we had with the last Olympics, right? Like you said it, women's sports are mainstream. Everybody's watching. It just depends what you're, really what the sport you're passionate about, because you can see it, which is so cool.
As coaches that are females, what responsibility do you feel to model strong female leadership?
Well, for me, I mean, just huge responsibility. I mean, keeping females on my staff, mentoring young female coaches. I didn't have many. My role model growing up was David Thompson of the Denver Nuggets. And now they have Caitlin Clark, they have Angel Reese, they have Paige Beckers. Sorry, I'm not as versed in lacrosse, Rachel, but that's, some of those things, those names that they get to see people that look like them. So I feel a big responsibility, and even though I'm not coaching anymore, I still feel that responsibility to help in that area.
So on a much less of a calendar year, right? I do feel like we have a deep responsibility because girls are watching, right? So seeing us in leadership, teaching them, the life lessons that will apply for the rest of their, beyond their sports career feels so important. And, Tanya coached me on the golf course, right? So once you're a coach, you're kind of always a coach. You don't kind of lose that skill set of being able to connect with somebody, give feedback, just kind of enjoy what you're doing. And so I think when athletes now can look to mom coaches and women coaches, they can kind of get a different perspective, right, than kind of the dad coaches or only having the male screaming person on the sideline. And so I'm really happy. I like to coach with programs that have a lot of female coaches because I think it's so important. They need to see us so they know they can do it if they want to.
What's up next for the both of you, real quick before we wrap up?
Well, I'm going to bring back-to-back championships.
Yeah. You got to catch the nine of
Yeah, that's always the goal, right? To compete and have fun while we're doing it. The lacrosse is going to be in the LA Olympics, so really excited to see how that pans out with what teams are playing in that and who's representing the U.S. So I can't wait to see that. And a former Evergreen athlete is currently the Team Canada goalie. Lauren Spence just graduated from Loyola. And so
Awesome.
if she gets to be on the Olympic team, we're going to definitely have some Evergreen fans out there at the Olympics cheering her on.
And Tanya, what's up next for you? You retired. Congratulations.
Yeah, I've retired from coaching, still working in the athletic department, just fundraising. So I'm recruiting in a different way, just recruiting money for the athletic department. So I'm super excited.
Love it. So thankful to have both of you on our board. Thanks for sharing your stories, the pride and joy of Evergreen.
So proud of Rachel. Rachel, it's just great to have you at Evergreen. And so great to see.
Appreciate you both.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great stuff. Always good to hear from Tanya Javi, Rachel Sanford, and Jennifer Anderson Ehrlich, Sportswomen of Colorado. They've been telling these stories for over 50 years, and they're just catching up.